Hey, so it's been a minute since I've done a video, and anyone who knows me knows that I can talk for England. I send very long voice notes and they go on for a very long time. So this is me trying to do a voice note but with a camera in my face, which is very awkward, but hey, we'll see how it goes. So I've been receiving so many insights, clarity and understanding of what is going on, equally with inside myself and my experiences, but also what's going on in the outside world. And like, information is coming in so thick and fast, it's literally just kind of coming through every orifice, it's just streaming out. And I thought, if I've got this information coming through and understanding, then it would be a sacrilege if I'm not sharing it with a bigger audience than just my immediate friends. Which, thank you guys, by the way, who listen to my voice notes, because I know that they go on for a long time, but it gives me the opportunity to be able to share everything that I have to say. So this particular video is going to be about what I've been experiencing over the last few days. Now, on Friday, we had this amazing new moon that happened, as well as this 7 planetary alignment, which I believe to be true that it hasn't happened for about 300 years. So we're going through unprecedented times, for sure. We've got so much energy happening coming through from the earth, like the Schumann resonance. So we've also got mass solar flares that are happening, X-class, M-class flares, and anyone who follows that is aware that it's off the charts, and we're feeling so much energy. We're feeling so much. It's stuff that we've never felt before in our human bodies ever. So I wanted to kind of go through what I've been experiencing, and I'm assuming it will help some people. If it doesn't resonate, then that's absolutely fine. But I felt a huge change that happened on Friday, and on Saturday morning I woke up. I know it's too much information, but I came on my period at that point, and I was like, of course I have. I'm very, like, my body is very kind of aligned into what is happening in the earth. Very sensitive to the energies that are happening around. I kind of connecting with what is happening in the kind of collective, shall I say, what's going on. So on Saturday, I felt this mass change within me. I worked all day, and I did feel really odd, but I found that all of my interactions had kind of gone up a notch, in the sense that I was saying how I was feeling in a very, very direct way. And there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I'm on my period, so perhaps that's what it is. But there was something very different in the air, and I felt that I was being incredibly direct. And because of the work that I have done, I am very clear on what my inner knowing is. I feel that my inner knowing kind of takes the lead most of the time, I would say, not all of the time, because I'm very conscious and very self-aware. I kind of implicitly trust my gut instincts, my knowings about things, and I let that lead the way. And because I do that, it means that ego, that personality side of me, kind of steps back a little bit and is, I'm observing. I can feel what I normally would say of going, when my fear comes up, for example, or when I'm feeling anxious about anything, that's just generally my ego personality just going, this doesn't feel comfortable. Why are you doing this? Why are you saying that? Why, you can't possibly do that. Why would you think that you can actually do this or say that to that person? So I felt that very much on Saturday, and I felt that things that have been sat deep within me, so thoughts or things that I hadn't expressed from last year, all of a sudden were starting to come out in a way that I could not stop. Like, I was like, I cannot stop this from coming out. It was almost like I was going like this, like, oh my God, it's coming out. And I felt it was kind of being pushed by my ego, but at the same time, it was like, it needs to come in, this needs to be expressed in whichever way it needs to be done. And there was me trying to kind of gently guide this information that was coming through, but it came out a little bit. So and also, you know, recently I had a should I say heated discussion stroke argument with somebody who I hold in very high regard. I love them to bits, and you know, they had an opinion of me. That basically there was the conversation that we had, it triggered something within her that made her think something about me, you know, her belief. And you know, she said to me, X, Y, and Z, and I was like, that's okay. And you know, their voice started to raise, and then I could feel my heart was racing. I started to raise, and I was like, okay, where's this going? And you know, I kind of like interrupted. I was like, you know, allow me to finish what I have to say. Allow me to finish, please. Stop interrupting me. Stop talking over me. Allow me to say what I need to say. And then when that was given by the other person, then my voice softened. I spoke a lot quieter, and it took longer for me to say. When I say longer, I wasn't talking so quickly, so I was able to express what I needed to say. And as I was talking, I could feel myself soften. I was like, okay, now I can say actually how I really feel from a very neutral standpoint. So it was really, really interesting. And then, you know, as I softened, they also softened. And it was like, I was like, I understand this is how you feel about me, but let me tell you, this is the truth of who I am, and this is what I mean by this, and this is my internal compass, and this is how I work. And you may think this, and other people may think that and it's perfectly fine if you do that. I don't care what other people think about me, and that's genuinely true. And the interesting, and the thing that I picked up from this conversation, this heated conversation, was what they said to me was like so beautiful and so profound, but it came from a child place of like, I don't want this to happen. And it was, I don't want this to come between us. Like she said, I don't want this to come between us. And I was like, it's not going to come between us, because you've said what you've had to say. I've said what I've had to say. You've put your cards on the table, and so have I. We can, you know, and what I took from this conversation was that two people who have a different opinion can exist in the same place, can exist in the same room, without saying you are wrong, without saying I am right. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. So I felt it was such a profound conversation, and I felt such healing from this conversation. And I know the other person did too. And, you know, and they were like, you know, I shouldn't have shouted. And I was like, well, I equally raised my voice too. And it's basically, it's our child wounding that's still kind of going, but no one's listening to me. Let me, you know, I want to be seen. I want to be heard, and you're not listening to me. And that's where all this behavior comes from. That's where you know, I'm going to raise my voice until you hear what I'm telling you. It's so interesting. And it was such a beautiful exchange. And I think I've not actually had that kind of exchange that had such a profound effect. And my heart literally just poured open, and it was so beautiful. But this is what I'm finding is this, and this is what's happening in the collective as well, is that people, especially with politics that's happening at the moment, it's such an important thing to be able to be neutral as possible, because obviously people have got their very, very strong beliefs, and this is what fuels people. That's what it gets anger, all the fear comes out when you have such a strong belief in something, and we are never shown the bigger picture ever. And that's why it's important to be able to have the space to listen to somebody else's opinion and give them the space to be able to say what they need to say without interrupting, without talking over them, because, you know, the more open that we can be, the more understanding we can be, the more we can soothe the situation. Then we can put like this soothing balm and just say, hey, I'm listening to you. I can hear what you're saying. I may not agree with you, but this is my, and I think the more we can listen to a bit of everything that everybody's got to say, the easier the transition will be. And like somebody made a point, actually one of my friends had said, you know, watch out, the cosmic suit, the cosmic what was he say? Yes, it was the cosmic truth serum is out. Watch out. And it's true. This is what I'm feeling, because people have been holding on to suppressed emotions and feelings for such a long period of time. It is now time for it. It's all coming up. It's all coming up to be expressed, because it has to be. If you don't, then it will only it will come out in illness, it will come out in anger, it will come out in frustration, it will come out in experiences that you do not want. So yeah, it's really interesting, and wherever I'm looking and whoever I'm speaking to, whether it's a video that I'm listening to, or like a family member, they're all saying the same thing, is that it's this kind of the throat chakra is opening up, and it's like I'm now saying how I feel, and people have come back to me and they said to me, oh my gosh, what you said about, you know, if you try and have this calm conversation with the person as opposed to you know, shouting at them, and you know, yes, it's uncomfortable to have a conversation, yes, it's uncomfortable, it's painful, because you don't know how the other person's going to hold the information that you're telling them, and that's our biggest fear, right? That, you know, you know, it is your truth going to destroy your friendship and your relationship? And this is what a lot of people are fearing. Am I going to lose my job if I actually tell my colleague how I feel? Am I going to lose this money if you know, if I'm transparent about something? You know what I mean? It has that same energy about it. What are we going to lose if we tell our truth? Because we know from in the past, you know, from religion, from politics, from centuries ago, if you were to speak your truth and the higher power did not agree with you, your fate will be probably death, or you'll be outcast, or you'll be shunned from society, from your family. We all know this to be true, and we're still holding this within ourselves. We're still holding it with our DNA. We're fearful of death, and I think this is what I've learned in my relationships with people, is if I am honest with my true authenticity and saying, you may not agree with me, but this is my pain and this is my hurt and this is what I'm putting on the table, from a place of authenticity, not from a place of blame, not from a place of anger, but from this is me, this is who I am, this is how I feel, and I want you to hear this. And ultimately everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants to be heard, everybody wants to feel safe. That's everyone's desire, right? And you can give that to people. That's always a choice. It's so beautiful. So, you know, we are grappling with this energy of what are we going to lose if we speak our truth? And now I've been speaking my truth literally left, right and centre. And just know that those who resonate with you and are meant to stay with you will. And the ones who don't, and the ones who feel angered or feel triggered by you, maybe perhaps they're not meant for you, and they're not going to come with you where you're going, and that's okay. And it's having to accept that. It's having to accept that that's okay. Oh my gosh, I mean, we're living in such beautiful times. It's crazy, it's chaotic, but at the same time, it's just this beautiful dance that these energies that we're dancing with and playing with, and we're all experiencing through our relationships. But yes, so I've got so much more to share, but I thought I would actually put this video out because it's something that I've been called to share. I've been having so many insights about different things, and I think, you know, somebody needs to hear this, right? Anyway, I hope you're having a great day.